Hello everyone and welcome to Thursday. Today we're going to be talking about something a little different, something that relates to what I do, and anyone else watching who does what I do will also relate to. And I'm sorry if that sounds like it came out of a Dr. Seuss book. I got a message today, and the gist of it said, it's really awesome that developers send you free games. That must be so cool having, all these free games that you're getting all the time, and I wish I could, get a bunch of free games too. And I wanted to talk about that a little bit for two things. For one, I want to talk about that aspect of it, and then I want to talk about a sleazy other part of it. It has to do with impersonation, but they're all kind of tied together. But I'm going to touch on this briefly because I think that is something that people may not think super deeply about. If you're not aware, people that are doing reviews, whether they are working for an actual gaming publication or just doing what I do, doing videos on YouTube, get approached by developers all the time to review products. Typically indie developers, and that makes a lot of sense because they're just starting out. They may not have a budget for any sort of marketing campaign or anything like that. So they are looking to us, to YouTube commentators or walkthroughs, players or whatever, anyone that does gaming content on YouTube, to advertise for them, to try their game. And what's cool is that some of these other companies, some of the bigger companies may have strict rules and regulations for what they are interested in having you show or not show or whatever, where indie developers, they don't care. They're just like, hey man, here's our game, please play our game on the internet. Works out pretty well because I do a First 20 series on Steven Plays where I can play whatever I want. Sometimes we do things like old well-known games like Donkey Kong 64, and sometimes we touch on indie games as well. But I do get a lot of emails from indie developers on a weekly basis asking me to play their games, like a lot. Like it has ramped up a lot, and I feel like it's ramped up because Steven Plays has gotten bigger, but I also think that there's a lot of indie developers making games, which is super cool. The only problem is I don't have enough time to cover all of them. I can only cover a handful of them, so whenever they come in, I look at the screenshots, I look at the videos, I want to know if there's a Mac version because that actually plays into my, my decision to do a video on it or not. But I get a lot of these things. How many do I get? Probably at least one a week, but usually 2 a week. So I'm getting like 1 to 2 full-length indie games a week. I can't cover all of those, and I think, to someone hearing that's like, oh man, that's awesome. It's a video gamer's dream. There's people like sending you, 1 to 2 free video games a week. And sometimes, they're bigger companies. I mean, Ubisoft has been really cool to content creators in the past and sent us a bunch of free games. But the reality of it is there's not enough time to actually cover all of that content. And beyond covering it, which is, what I like to do is I like to try and cover what I can, there's no time to play it. And people that don't do what I do professionally don't understand that even though I love what I do, it is still a job and it still feels like work. So I'm playing video games, so I'm doing it as a job, and a lot of times the video games that I play, I only have time to play what I'm doing for the channel. So what I'm trying to say is when a developer sends me a free game and I put it on the channel, I do a 20 or 30 minute video, I'm really doing it, yes, to try it out, but mostly to help that developer. I'm not really doing it like, oh man, this is awesome, I get to play a game, because chances are, like 95% of the time, I'll never play that game again, even if I really enjoyed it. So while it is cool that I get games sent to me for free all the time, like it's not the same as someone else who's playing video games for fun, because you guys may actually play the games, whereas I am playing it for a video, and then unless I really like it and try to find time to play it for fun, I will probably never play the game again, even if it is good. The sole purpose of doing that is to help out indie developers. If there's something that I think is really cool, especially if no one else has really covered it, then I look to try and do that, to bring some attention to it. So, yeah. Anyway, so on the impersonation count, I'll touch on this quickly. There are people who want to play video games very, very badly and are willing to do nefarious deeds in order to do that. They will reach out to companies themselves, and they will pose as YouTubers, and they will say, "Hey, I'm so and so. Give me a key, and I'll cover your game." That's awful. That's absolutely despicable. They're missing the point. Once again, we're playing games to raise awareness, so you guys will be interested in the game and pay money to the developers to support them and what they do. This actually happened to me back in early November. There's a game that is still in early access on Steam right now called Cavern Kings, and the developer actually sent a tweet out because he got an email from an email address called stevenplaypc@gmail.com, which is not my email address. It's an email address that someone made, and they sent this developer an email and said, "Hello, my name is Steven George. I'm a YouTube game reviewer with a target of 75,000 subscribers and a total of 31 million video views. My YouTube channel is this. I keep my channel updated every day with new game reviews and gameplay series. Because of my current financial status, I can't afford to buy the game by myself at this time. If you could just send this to me." I didn't write that. That's not my email address. And what's funny is that they spelled my name wrong, and the the developer of the game had tweeted a picture of this email out, and it said, if you're trying to scam keys from me impersonating YouTube guy, at least spell his name right. And what's funny is that I had never heard of the game up to this point, and he actually sent me some keys for the game. I haven't played it yet. There is an OS 10 version in development, and when it comes out, I am going to play that. But he was really cool. You should go check out Cavern Kings just because of that, because he was really cool about it. But that apparently happens a lot. There's apparently a lot of times where people want free games, and their idea of doing that is impersonating someone and asking the developers for it. It's incredibly sleazy. And I understand that someone might be saying, it is cool that you get to play these games, but like on our end, that's not what it's about. I mean, it's not. We're just trying to help these guys make a living and continue to create great stuff, which is what we're trying to do. We're trying to make a living creating great stuff, except we're doing videos and they're doing games. So, anyway, I don't know why I guess I thought to bring this up because of that message I got today, and it made me think back to all this stuff. But yeah, that's a real thing. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. And I'm sure that whoever this person is probably, subscribed to Steven Plays and or Steven Vlogs, so you might be watching right now. You should feel bad. That's awful. Don't do that again. Promise me you won't do that again. That's not cool. That's not very cool. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Kind of a weird topic, but I wanted to get that out there. And as always, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we? Mankind's behaving like some serial killer. Giant old monster, afraid of the sharks. This is the hard part because of that thing. So let's just be very careful. Mal. Christ almighty, you're scaring the piss out of me.